F launcher, kind of a new guy on the scene. And what's so interesting about this and what makes it especially relevant in today's age of increasingly sized smartphones is that it's perfectly usable with one hand. No matter the size screen on your smartphone, even if it's 6 inches, everything can be done with one hand. It makes a lot of sense the way they've positioned things. Everything is one swipe away. It's convenient, fast, and quite refreshing. So then we have Smart Launcher 3, one of the more optimized ecosystems available. It's a low resource requirement, so it saves RAM, saves a lot of battery, and it's got a nice material design. You essentially pick 6 applications that you use the most, and those are all instantly accessible with one click. Unfortunately for the rest of them that you don't select, they're a little bit harder to get to. It can take up to 4 clicks to get the application you want, and it's a little bit difficult sometimes to use with one hand. We also have a pretty handy search feature on top that searches everything from your applications to your settings to your messages. Next up is Arrow Launcher, and this is a high performance launcher through and through. Everything from the ability to turn on a high performance mode to it being a little bit more resource intensive and being able to do things like kill background apps speaks performance. And it works. This thing flies through even on slower smartphones, but unfortunately consumes a little bit more battery than its alternatives. A nice touch is swiping to the left gives you almost a summary of everything going on your smartphone, which you can customize quite significantly. So then we've got Nova, and for the last 2 years this is the one launcher that I've continued to come back to. It's a very good base, it's optimized, it's fast, it's fluid, it works with all Android smartphones and also all icon packs. It's highly compatible and also highly customizable. It doesn't quite have the flexibility of launchers like Total Launcher, which I'll get onto a bit, but just the fact that it works with everything, you can pretty much create the look you want to. You can also spend quite a lot of time in the settings here, tweaking everything from the page transitions to the way the apps open. So rolling in next, we've got Zen UI, one of the highest rated launchers on the entire Play Store. And when you start using it, you'll realize why. It's fast, fluid, and stable, but also hides a lot of interesting customization features. It's very heavy on themes, and they tend to embody a slightly more playful art style, so it's not exactly going to help you achieve that purely minimalist industrial look, but you can achieve a lot of other things. Next up is ASAP Launcher, and the key is really in the name. As soon as possible. And this is what I'd call a very efficient launcher. You can get to just about every setting, tweak, feature, or piece of information in 3 swipes or less. And on top of that, it's clutter-free, swiping from screen to screen and you'll see a minimalist card which takes up the whole display. It could be a to-do list, a calendar synced to all your Gmails, your contacts, or even a weather widget. And also swiping from the far left or the far right brings up quick settings and an app drawer. So then we have Eevee Launcher, and this guy hasn't been around too long, but it's gotten very good very quickly and can now easily compete with the others on the market. Now, it's not got the best level of compatibility or customizability. There are some icon packs and some widgets here and there which won't work with this, but generally speaking you shouldn't have a problem. But the feature set here, the real selling point, is its fluidity. This is a very snappy, responsive launcher, and all the animations are just slick and beautiful. It'll also fit pretty well with a material design setup if that's what you're trying to create. So number 8 is Lens Launcher, a very interesting concept which feels a little bit half-baked, but is still great on the innovation front. Every single application is just set out in a giant grid, and then you simply hold your finger over and let go when you're holding on top of an app and it'll open the app. Now clearly this is limited, there's no access to widgets or a search bar, but it's a novel way of doing things and in some senses lets you get to what you want faster than other launchers. So then we've got Nano, and the real emphasis here is being not only a clean launcher, but also a very light one. Everything about it feels light and airy, and if that's the kind of theme you're trying to go for, there's no better launcher than this. It automatically sorts your applications, removes the labels to give it a cleaner look, but unfortunately it's slightly let down by the little bit of advertising that goes on here and there. So then we've got Total Launcher, and there's one thing that this guy screams, and that's customization. And yes, there are other launchers which maybe help you do it, they hold you by the hand. This one gives you an ultimate level of customization that you've never really seen before, but it does require a time investment. When you first boot it up, it won't look particularly great, but diving into the settings lets you change everything from the way each icon appears to the number of centimeters